Terry Kafka, who is a Dallas developer. He's messaging Epstein. He knew him when he was growing up in Brooklyn. And Warren Eisenstein, another one of his Brooklyn friends. He says, go directly to photo 9, and he's linking them forward. Demilked 30 ordinary photos with amazing backstories. This is number 9, the youngest mother. Now, this is from Virginia Giuffre's book, Nobody's Girl. Epstein liked to share with me what he insisted were scientific justifications for his yearnings about young girls. For example, he would only have sex with girls who had started menstruating. Whoa, hang on a minute. Yeah, call the police. Hey, it's the Goblin Queen. Okay, this one is fucked, and you've probably seen this circulating online, but I have a little bit of extra context that you might find interesting. And I wanted to point out, this is from the other email. Yay. This is one of Epstein's 3 emails that we now know. J-E-E Yaycation. Yay with a Y. A vacation spelled with a Y instead of a V. How do you even make that typo? Those letters are not close to each other. I mean, they are, I guess, vertically close, but they're top and bottom row. You know, typos I'm used to seeing those two letters are right next to it, but there's no Y in that word. There's no, that's impressive. This guy typed it in. Did he type it in twice? Don't you have to type your email address in twice when you make an email on Gmail? What the hell? How did he manage this? It's almost impressive. And then he used it for a while. That's a lot. There's a lot going on there. Anyway, that isn't what we're talking about at all. This is not an email from him. This is an email to him from someone named Terry. Now, I'm guessing, I'm not 100% sure, I'm guessing Terry is Terry Kafka, who is a Dallas developer. Let me get up a picture of him. He was in Epstein's birthday book. If you remember, we went over that. I forget what his thing was. What did he send him? Actually, you know what? That is important. I would like to know this. Yeah, Terry Kafka. So it's right in the Brooklyn section. So he knew him when he was growing up in Brooklyn. Let's check this out. Brooklyn. A bunch of photos. Oh, was Terry Kafka one of these guys, maybe? Yeah, it is interesting who he corresponded with at each email address. Maybe Yaycation was for his real friends. Okay, here we go. This is the one for, oh God, it's so fucking long. Sorry. Johnny Boy Kafka. Wait, well, Dallas, Texas, that is where Terry Kafka lives. So Johnny Boy Kafka, is that his dad or something? This is Terry Kafka. The father of Philip Kafka. Who the fuck is Johnny Boy Kafka? Johnny Boy Kafka is a name associated with Terry Kafka. Ah, yes. He wrote a letter. It's drawn attention to its inappropriate content and the relationship it suggests between Epstein and Kafka's son, Philip. Whoa, wait, is this an early example of Epstein being maybe gay? Whoa, hang on a minute there. Dearest Jeff, 50 years old. You had a really amazing life. Amazing because of where and when it started. Paula and Seymour fucking. Who was there to tell him where to stick it? Who told him to spit on her? Oh, geez. Okay, maybe I shouldn't read this. I remember summers when Warren would always work some shit-ass job, Nathan's, for minimum wage. I'd always find something, and Frog would too. But you, Jeff, would never work. Yes, you were special. You did things like music camps, blah, blah, blah. When you lost your virginity under the same roof that cold New Year's Eve. I'm just going to skip ahead here. Your charisma and persuasive ways came very early on. Remember meeting Philly. Okay, here we go. Philly, that's his son, right? It's Philly Kafka. He's 16. He said he'll always remember how you said that Timmy taught you a lot about business. I know you enhanced that a bit, but that was a great thing to say to a kid, and I'll never forget it either. Warren and Philly are crazy about each other, and the kid is obviously enamored by you and loved meeting you. It meant a lot to him and me. He's really a great kid, has that easygoing, confident manner. Good-looking kid. What? Okay, wait, what did it say? Inappropriate content in the relationship it suggests between Epstein and Kafka's son, Philip? What? That didn't seem that bad to me. You guys made me what I am today. You're still a great influence on me. You don't know it, but you're my kid's role model. That's why it's so satisfying. Horrible. Couldn't imagine a worse role model, actually. That's why it's so satisfying to recall the past with you. It shaped both of us. When Warren and I get together, who and what do you think we talk about? You. It's constant. I can't stand it anymore. Okay. I thought that was going to be worse. I mean, it's not great, but I was expecting more stuff about the son. It just seems like, oh, my son thinks you're cool. All right. Okay. Yeah. Child picked a bad role model. Join the club. I don't think I had any role models that bad, but still. Anyway, so Terry, who I'm not even sure if it's him because it's fucking bleeped out, but it says Terry. Jeff/Warren. Oh, you know what? It's totally Terry because he's messaging Epstein and Warren Eisenstein, another one of his Brooklyn friends. So it's 100%. It's Johnny Boy. We got it. We got him. He says, go directly to photo 9, and he's linking them forward. Demilked 30 ordinary photos with amazing backstories. There we go. So he sent him this article. It's still up. 30 ordinary photos with amazing backstory. He said, go straight to number 9, he tells his childhood friend Epstein and his childhood friend Warren Eisenstein. Okay, all right. Oh, this is fun. Oh, what a cool little thing. What a fun little guy. Okay, here's number 4. Okay, skipping through all these. I'm sure these are very interesting, ordinary photos with interesting backstories. Number 8, burst of joy. Okay, here we go. Number 9, ready? The youngest mother. Okay, ordinary photos with amazing backstories. Lena Medina, born on 23rd September 1933, was the youngest woman ever to give birth. She did so when she was just 5 years old. Turns out, Lena was born with a rare condition called precocious puberty, a condition where sexual development happens at an early age. Lena gave birth on May 14th, 1939, via a cesarean section, since her pelvis was too small. The child, named Gerardo, was born completely healthy, but the father was never found out. So this is what he sent them. This is number 9, the youngest mother. These bros, they're sending this to each other. Now, why did he do this? Well, we don't have any other context. Nobody responded. Like, here's the actual email. Nobody responded. All it says is, go directly to number 9, photo number 9, Terry. Oh, it's forwarded because I guess he was subscribed to the Demilked. They would send him their new articles. And I guess he must have read them every day. Who fucking does that? Who subscribes to a newsletter and actually reads it from one of these fucking like slop listicle websites? You know? Like a fucking off-brand BuzzFeed. And he sits through and he reads these every day? Bro, just grow up. Like, be an adult, sign up for a newsletter, and then never read it. That's what everyone else does. That's how you know these guys are deranged minds. But yeah, no one got back to him. There's nothing else here, but he did send them to these guys. Now, here is a little bit of context. Doesn't fully explain it, but here's a little bit more context. This is from Virginia Giuffre's book, which I've been quoting a lot. I'm glad I read that. It's been very useful. Highly recommended if you want to get really sad, but also learn a lot about Epstein. So she writes, this is from Nobody's Girl. Epstein liked to share with me what he insisted were scientific justifications for his yearnings about young girls. For example, he would only have sex with girls who had started menstruating. Why? So he could assert that, since they were biologically able to bear children, they were of age. I was flabbergasted when he said this stuff, but I held my tongue. No matter how young a girl looked or how sexually inexperienced she was, if she had her period, he felt he could defend his abuse of her as part of the natural order of things. I was never sure who he imagined making this argument to, the girls themselves, his business associates, law enforcement officers, himself, but it was clear that he took a certain glee in what he saw as a loophole in society's moral code. Now, this could mean that our friend Terry, or not our friend, but Epstein's friend Terry, if we look at this in the absolute, benefit of the doubt, maybe like generous interpretation, maybe this was Terry like making an argument against Epstein. Maybe him, Epstein, and Eisenstein were hanging out one time and Epstein starts spouting this like incel fucking pedophile bullshit. Like, I mean, this is fucked up, but this is like, I think a pretty common argument from whatever, people on 4chan. I feel like, so Epstein's like, if she's having her period, then how can it be bad? Like, her body is ready to have a kid. Why, what's the issue? Like, as if, whatever. And maybe this guy, whatever his name is, Kafka, Johnny Boy Kafka, sent him this article to be like, oh yeah, like, do you think this is okay? Because this girl's 5 and she had a kid. Like, not only she had her period, she is capable of having a kid. She had one. So you think that's okay? Like, I mean, I don't know. Is that possible? Maybe. Was that an argument that he was he making an argument? I mean, I guess the better thing to do if you're presented with that argument is to call the police. But if you want to stay friends with someone, if you want to call them in rather than, disrespect them and push them away, whatever, maybe this is the type of article you would do and you'd tell them to go look at number 9. I don't know. I mean, look, I at this point, I'm writing fan fiction. I don't know why he sent them this article, but based on the fact that according to Virginia, this was something that Epstein said a lot, I imagine that his 2 fucking pervert friends also heard this. And Jeff/Warren go directly to photo 9. Or maybe it was like one of those things. Like this was in when was this? When was this? This was 2019. Okay, 2019. Obviously, this guy isn't very good with technology. He subscribed to a fucking off-brand BuzzFeed and he reads it. But maybe he was like, guys, like, maybe they were arguing for that Epstein thing. And then Terry was like, guys, no, there was a 5-year-old who had a kid. And then they were like, no, there wasn't. There was no, and he was like, yes, I read about it on Demilked. Don't you read Demilked? Remember the era before cell phones? Not that was at this point, but maybe he couldn't pull it up or whatever. And he sent it to them later. Go directly to photo number 9. And he's like, I was right. There was a 5-year-old that had a kid. Anyway, I don't know, but I imagine it has something to do with this argument, right? I mean, I don't know who this argument appeals to. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that people actually believe this. I feel like the main thing to me about arguments in favor of pedophilia is that you can make all kinds of justifications for anything. But it's not just about are their bodies ready? Obviously, it's are their minds ready? And it's we have a lot of evidence to show that experiencing this stuff as a young person fucks you up. It completely fucks up your brain, fucks up young kids' brains to experience this kind of thing. We know that. We know that it's bad. It doesn't matter how your logic about age or whatever, fucking periods or any argument you can make. No, forget all that. We know from how much fucking money is spent on therapists by these people who have this done to them, that this is an extremely harmful thing. This is the most harmful thing you can do to a kid. So don't do it. Anyway, I feel like that's the only argument you really need for that.